Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to discuss or continue our discussion from last week. So, I'm just going to give you the PDF or the PPT copy later on or after the discussion. So, we already talked about yung mga principles of pharmacology, which is before it is mentioned na meron tayong pharmaceutics, pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic, pharmacotherapeutic, and pharmacognosis. So, last week, we also discussed yung um, sa pharmacokinetics, which is absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion. So, tapos na tayo sa absorption. And now, we are talking about the distribution. So, see distribution, this is the process by which drugs from the bloodstream to various tissues and organ in the body. So, meaning this is where the biggest difference happen. Bakit? Kasi dito po ang possible na nangyayari yung transportation natin of the absorbed drug throughout the body para ma-reach nga the target tissues and organs. So, dito parang pagpayat na tao, mas mababa po yung fat contains nila sa katawan. So, lower, pag mga lean person, so they have lower body fat. Then, at the same time, meron din po silang mas mababang volume of distribution. Pag ang nainom nilang gamot is fat-soluble drugs. Take note, pag yung gamot is fat-soluble, slower volume po kasi mababa yung fat content nila. Then, pag naman sa payat, hydrophilic drugs, since this is water soluble, so drug mostly stay in the body water. Then while pag naman obese patient, syempre ang meron tayo dito higher body fat, often nag-i-increase po sila ng blood volume. So, pag mga lipid soluble o yung mga gamot na natutunaw sa fat is madalas distributed yan sa fat tissues. So, having more fat distributed sa fat tissues, having larger volume distribution. Also, ang chance nito, they have longer half-life. So, matagal po matunaw sa medyo maraming fat sa katawan. Then, ano pa ba sa distribution natin? So, another one for distribution is we have transportation of drug in the body to its bloodstream. So, meron po tayong site of action. So, drugs, since transport siya, so yung drugs ay nagmo-move through the bloodstream to reach yung target niya sa katawan. So, we also have protein binding. Sa protein binding, drugs are often attached to protein proteins in the blood. So only the free part of drugs work in the body. Then pag water soluble, again, pag water soluble, hydrophilic, and then pag fat soluble is lipophilic. So some drugs can dissolve in water, so while is dissolved in fat. So it also affects how they spread to the body. And then we have blood-brain barrier. It is a protective barrier that controls what enters the brain. So, parang may gate po. Kasi nga, barrier siya. So, it limit yung effectiveness of a certain drugs for brain-related issue. So, parang nafi-filter nila kung which yung effective or not sa blood-brain barrier. And then, areas of rapid distribution, we have heart, liver, kidneys, and brain. So, these are some areas or organs na yung drugs is drug quickly get or sabihin na natin move or transport due to high blood flow. And then, at the same time around, rapid po. Since pag sinabi natin rapid, mabilis po. Mabilis yung distribution. Kasi para silang, kung sa highway, nasa fast lane sila. So, nandun sila sa mga nag-overtaking lane. Kasi mabilis po ang distribution ng drugs doon. Mabilis yung daloy. While we have slow distribution, we have muscle, skin, and fat. So dito, tissues like muscle, skin, and fat receive drug more slowly. Bakit? Due to lower blood flow. So, kung dito sa rapid distribution, para siyang overtaking or fast lane, tuloy-tuloy yung daloy. So, imagine nyo, yung sasakyan is nasa, 'di ba, highway. Meron siyang tatlo minsan. So, parang ito, it's the bloodstream. Yung sasakyan natin, yung mga sasakyan na yan yung parang example ng distribution ng drug. So, dito, sa pinaka last lane, mabagal yung takbo. So, slow distribution siya. While dito sa rapid, mga fast lane, mabilis lang po yung daloy nung blood or nung drugs po dyan pag dumadaan. So, ayun yung difference ng rapid distribution and slow distribution. Then, we have in pharmacokinetics, the distribution pace refers to the movement of a drug. Lalo na pag dumaan to sa bloodstream. To various tissues in the body. So, there are several factors influence the distribution of drug, and one, we have blood perfusion, polarity, regional pH, permeability. So, pag sinabi natin blood perfusion influence, it refers to the flow of blood through the tissue and organs. So, dito, meaning, some tissue get more blood, so they receive more drugs. And other will receive less, and the flow gets less. So, ayun, parang ano lang siya, tulad lang siya, 'pag mabilis yung distribution, mabilis din po yung epekto. 'Pag mabagal yung distribution, mabagal din yung epekto ng drug. Then we have polarity, it is influence on distribution. We have separation of electrical charges within a molecule. So, kasi meron tayo, 'di ba, sinabi natin kanina, lipophilic. So, dito, ano ba yung molecules na meron sila? Ito yung mga fat soluble sa fats. So, sa lipophilic, yung drugs tend to distribute well pagdating po sa mga lipids and cell membrane. Kasi nga, may fats doon. Then, they also facilitating penetration into the tissues. While si hydrophilic, it is a water soluble. So, water yung mismong medium nito. While water soluble drugs, they have limitations in crossing. Meron silang limitations in crossing lipid-rich barrier. Kasi nga, hindi sila basta-basta nagpa-pass through sa fat. So, kaya polarity. Depende po yan sa fat or water. Kasi meron silang difference. Anong yung molecule ng fat, ano yung molecule ng water. Then we have regional pH influence. So, pH is measure of the acidity and alkalinity of a solution. So, pH can affect the ionization state of drugs. So, drugs. Pag weak yung acid, so may tendency, it is more ionized in alkaline. Then, pag weak naman sa base, ang tendency niyan, it is more ionized in acidic environment. So, the ionization kasi can impact the drug's ability para makapag-cross or makadaan sa cell membrane and ma-distribute siya sa mga tissues. Then we have permeability. So, permeability is the ability of a substance to pass through barrier such as cell membrane. So, dito, permeability of tissues and cellular membrane. It determines yung how easily drugs can move across them. So, syempre, example, lipophilic drug. So, may diffuse more or mas nakakadaan sila. Mas, kumbaga, may BIP pass sila. Kasi nga, yung drug na ginagamit natin ay mabilis matunaw sa fat. So, sa lipid natin. So, at the same time, pag water soluble naman, parang may BIP pass sila pag hydrophilic drugs, which is they require specific mechanism of transport. Then, ayan yung sa distribution natin, more on transportation of the drugs to the bloodstream. Then, we have metabolism. So, sa metabolism, the biochemical process in the body that transforms drug into different compounds. So, the body transform mainly sa liver para po makapag-prepare for removal. So, yan yung ano natin. Then, ano ba ang job ng liver? So the liver is like a chemical processing plant for drugs. So it uses enzymes to change drugs into different forms. So making them easier to for the body to get rid of. Then, syempre, si enzyme na yan, meron din siyang job description. So, enzyme at work, it is parang tinatawag po silang little workers ng liver. Nagtatrabaho sila inside the liver. Kasi, they are the one that modify the structure of drugs and then breaking them down into smaller parts. Which is, itong smaller parts na po yan, that is what we call metabolites. Again, smaller parts which is breakdown or the modified structure of drugs breaking down into smaller pieces, that is what we call metabolites. The smaller parts which is the modified structure na. Pero modifying it or the process of modifying the structure, that is enzyme. Then, meron tayong two phases. We have phase 1 of metabolism, phase 1 and phase 2. So, si phase 1, dito po is nagtitweaks yung drug structures. Then, si phase 2, ito naman is parang nag-a-add ka ng something to it. Adding something to it. So that it is make parang mas madali for the body na matanggal siya. So, ayun yung sa phase 2. Then, so we have the liver function, enzyme function, the phase 1, phase 2, and then we have the genetic differences matter. Tandaan, genes. Ibig sabihin, people have different version of this enzyme due to their genetics. So some of the people process drug faster, other are slower. So it is affected on how the medication work for each person. Depende na po yan sa genes. Kahit minsan, kunwari, dalawang payat. Diba? Usually, mabilis talaga dapat kasi payat sila. But it depends on their gene on how it is processed to their body. Yung isa, baka maganda-ganda talaga yung genes nila, mabilis talagang process or flow yung drug. And the other one, since iba naman yung genes niya talaga is mabagal mag-distribute ng drugs. So, genetic na siya. Then we have drug-to-drug interaction. So dito, some drugs can affect itong enzyme na to. Nagli-leading na siya to interaction. So one drug might influence how another is processed in the body. So, in understanding kasi the metabolism, it helps the doctor to prescribe kung alin yung tamang dose, kung ano yung mga possible i-avoid, na problems with the interaction para ma-ensure yung medication are effective and safe para dun sa isang individual na yon. Always follow healthcare providers' advice on taking on the medication. Kasi mag-iiba-iba naman yan. Then, we are also, wait lang. Sorry. So, here, biological transformation of a drug into an inactive metabolite. So, metabolite, it is the modified structure which is in the smaller version. So, a more soluble compound or more potent metabolite. So, the main organ, again, for the metabolism is liver. Also, we uses or the it pass through the kidneys, lung, plasma, intestinal mucosa. So there are factors then that affecting the metabolism. Factors that decrease metabolism. So una is we have cardiovascular dysfunction. So dito, syempre, if your heart and blood vessel is hindi sila nagwo-work ng tama or may something wrong sa kanila, so yung drug might not get to the liver ng mabilis. Kasi si liver kasi talaga ang nagtutumutulong para ma-process yung drug. So this one, pag may ganitong sakit, this slow down how quickly your body breaks down the medication. Then 2, we have renal insufficiency. So from the word renal, sa kidney po yan. So if your kidneys aren't working properly, drugs might not be filtered out of the body. So ito naman, nagli-lead naman siya to build up drugs affecting how they are metabolized. Example po nito, sa field kasi natin, we are using contrast media or barium enema. Or for barium enema. So, may procedure. Ito kasi, this is a common procedure ha, barium enema. So, barium enema, papainumin si patient ng contrast powdered na tinunaw in water and then para siyang milk. Pero mapakla yung lasa niya. Sobrang mapakla. Kahit may flavor siya, para siyang chalk. So, para siyang dinurog na chalk, then tinunaw sa water. Ipapainom yun kay patient. Or, pag hindi pinainom, that's barium swallow. Pag barium enema kasi, is ilalagay po sa may anus, sa may rectal. So, rectal, yung ano niya, site niya, mechanism niya. So, si patient, kukuhanan siya ng scout film. So, yung scout film, parang siyang plain picture. Tapos, pag nilagyan na natin ng contrast, kukuhanan ulit siya. Then, pag natapos na yung procedure, automatically, madalas, is nilalabas talaga ni patient yung contrast. Then, pinapabalik 24 hours para malaman kung may residual pa ng contrast sa body. So, ang inaan natin kasi, hindi dapat na mag-build up or hindi dapat mag-stay ang contrast sa body. Kasi, wala pong kahit anong effect or parang healthy effect yung contrast natin, rather than this is just pang-highlight sa organs natin. Which is, pag nagtagal siya sa katawan natin, magkakaroon na siya ng, para siya magiging toxic. So that's why, yung kidney, pag hindi niya na-filter lahat, is hindi mailalabas sa katawan. Which is making that drugs very toxic sa katawan. Then, another factor is we have starvation. Siyempre, dito naman, pag hindi ka kumakain ng tama, your body overall activity is bumabagal. Nawawalan ka ng gana, nawawalan ka ng energy. So, including the process of breaking down the drugs in the liver. So, ang mas mabagal, wala kang kinakain, mas mabagal ang metabolism mo. Kasi walang nangyayari, I mean like walang tinatrabaho. So walang tutunawin, so mabagal lang siya. Then we have obstructive jaundice. So, obstructive jaundice, if you have jaundice, ito yung ang symptoms niya. This is a liver problem, which is, ano niyan, is naninilaw si patient. Tapos, pag nanilaw si patient, especially, may mga types kasi obstructive is yung may mga bara. So, pag may bara na po, it can affect the flow of the bile. Kasi si bile, nire-release siya ni liver. So, bile is very important of getting rid of the drug out of the body. Kasi it is a part of the flow system. So if it is not working well or floating well, yung drug metabolism can be impacted. Mas babagal siya. Then we have slow acetylator, which is some people naturally metabolize drug more slowly because of their genetic. Kaya mabagal ang ano natin yan kasi genes na. Then we have erythromycin or ketoconazole drug therapy. So dito, certain drugs can slow down the enzyme in your liver. So breaking down the other drugs. Si erythromycin and ketoconazole are example ng type of drugs na yon. So ito po ang mga factors na nakakabagal sa metabolism. Then, lastly, we have for the pharmacokinetics is excretion. So, excretion, the process by which drugs and their metabolites are removed from the body. So, ang ano natin dito, primary site natin is kidney. From the word removal, or remove, it is removing some the unwanted or mga traces in our body. Hindi na po siya kailangan. So, dito, kidneys ang number or main site natin. So, elimination of drugs from the body, main organ is kidney, kidney. Then the other one, we have liver, bowel through the biliary excretion, and enterohepatic circulation. It is the same with the metabolism. This also have a factors that decrease the excretion. So, may mga factors siya, which is, ang factors naman madalas po nito is mabagal yung process from metabolism. Unahin muna natin si kidney. Bakit ba si kidney ang main organ? So, kidney are key. This is the main way of our body to get rid of the drug is through the kidneys. So, it filter. Kasi pag ito advice, pag umiinom ng gamot, ina-advise din na mag-hydrate well. Kasi, automatically, pag the more water ka, the more na mabilis yung flow, mabilis po masisecrete out to the body. So, they filter the drugs from the blood and release them into the urine, in the form of urine. And then, kasama din ni kidney si liver. So dito naman, the liver helps by putting some drugs into the bile while goes to the intestine. From there, yung drugs can be eliminated through feces. So, alam niyo na, feces, poops, yan. Kasi sa intestine, di ba, nangyayari yung ano natin, sa absorption. Nasa-separate po dyan yung important nutrients, which is that's absorbed, and then, nasa-separate po yung unwanted na. So, pag unwanted na, from the intestine, itutuloy siya hanggang ma-build up and malabas through feces, in the form of feces. Then, we also have the para siyang breath and sweat. So, dito, few drugs can leave the body through breath, which is mga volatile substance. So, small amount through sweat, pwedeng sweat and saliva. Then, excretion, it is by possibility then if breastfeeding po si mother. Kasi for nursing mother, some drugs can end up in the breast milk. Kaya may mga advice na kung okay ba sa pregnant patient or sa breastfeeding patient yung gamot, minsan hindi inaalaw kasi nga may chances na baka maipasa doon sa baby yung effect ng gamot. Maybe it's a little trace but may tendency maipasa. Kasi dadaan pa rin po yan doon sa breast ng paglabas ng milk. So, additional considerations lang naman. Then, ang ano natin is, we have half-life. So, si half-life, this is time it takes for 1/2 of the original amount of drug in the body to be removed. Measure of the rate which drugs are removed from the body. So this one, it is the key parameter in pharmacokinetics. Kasi it reflects the rate which yung drug can be eliminated in the body. Si half-life, hindi lang sa radioactive ha. Ang half-life natin, pwede din siya sa drug. So sa drug na to, since nga 50 or kalahati agad for the concentration of the body to reduce it into half. It is measure of how quickly the body get rid of the drug. So, for example, meron kang drug, yung drug na yon is, 'di ba, antibiotic, madalas it's either 8 or 12 hours. So, kunwari, inano natin, 1 half-life. From 100 milligram. Eto, tinake mo siya. Kunyari, every 8 hours. So, dyan, bago dumating ng 8 hours, nag-half-half siya. Kunyari, after, wait lang, divide natin. So, dito, pagkatapos ng isang half-life, naka 50 milligram, tapos, another half-life na naman, nag-pass, is naging 25 milligram, tapos another one, lives na to. Naging 12.5 milligram, hanggang sa naging 4, and so on. Tapos, naging 6 milligram pababa. Hanggang sa mag-fade po yung effect ng gamot. That's why, since every 8 hours, iinom na naman tayo ng gamot. So, yun yung ng half-life. This is how drug slowly fades out over time. So, why half-life is important? So the half-life helps us to decide how often give the drug, kung gaano kadalas, and then how long until steady state is reached, gaano kadaming half-life. Then how long before a drug is mostly eliminated. And then how long the drug's effect lasts. And also risk of drug accumulation and toxicity. Kaya ang natin, half-life is required para malaman natin kung ilang doses or how many times ibibigay yon sa pasyente. So, case-to-case basis yan. So, do you have any questions for pharmacokinetics? DADME. Absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion. May tanong po ba kayo dito? Anyone? May tanong po ba, guys? You can chat. Ayan. None naman po. So, since wala namang tanong so far, move on tayo sa pharmacodynamics. Sa pharmacodynamics naman is, ito lang. The study of how drugs produce their effect in the body, encompassing the interaction between drugs, their target receptors, enzyme, physiological process. So, pharmacon, drug, dynamics is action or power. So, simply, ang definition niyan is what a drug does to the body. So, pharmacodynamics, it is the study of what a drug does to the body. It explains how a drug works, where it works, saan sila nagwo-works madalas. Nagwo-work po sila sa receptor, enzyme, and mga physiological process, which is cell or organs. Then, what effect it produce? So, possible ang effect na pinoproduce niyan, it can be therapeutic or side effect. Then, how the effect change with dose. So, ayun yung sa pharmacodynamic. Then, meron tayong mechanism of action. Sa mechanism of action, sa drug, meron muna tayong agonist, antagonist. So, si agonist, ito is activates receptor and produce a biological response. Kumbaga, inactivate mo and then may reaction. Similar to the natural activity of the body own signaling niya. Ito kasi, pag sinabing similar, is parang minimimic niya. Mimicking the effect of endogenous substance. Kasi si agonist, nagbabind siya sa receptor since nag-bind siya sa receptor, inactivates niya. Pag na-activate, sinabing nagmimimic, ito yung nag-react siya, pero similar yung reaction niya. Kunyari, may example tayo, morphine. Ang morphine is painkiller siya. So, painkiller siya, and then nag-bind siya sa opioid receptor. And then, ang napoproduce niya is nagre-relieve ng pain. Nagre-relieve siya ng pain, which is minimic niya. May reaction kang nakuha. While si antagonist, nagbabind siya sa receptor pero walang nangyayari. Hindi nag-a-active. Binablock niya or inhibit the activation of receptor. So, ang ano dito is, does not activate. So, instead, binablock niya. Ang example niyan is we have naloxone. Dito, since nag-bind siya sa receptor, nire-reverse niya, reverse opioid. Kasi pain reliever or pain, kasi for pain. Opioid overdose, it competes. Instead na nare-relieve, may chance na hindi nare-relieve yung pain. So, ganun yung type ng ano na to. So, isi-simple natin as a table. Pag nagbabinds, agonist, tapos antagonist. Antagonist. Pag nagbabind to receptor, we have agonist, we have antagonist. Nag-activate ng receptor, we have agonist. Pero antagonist, binablock niya po. Or inhibits. Then, produce effect. Si agonist, nagproproduce siya ng effect. Si antagonist, wala. Block effect. Yan. Then, ang main role is si agonist, nagmimic ng natural ligand or activity. Then, dito, binablock niya si agonist action. So, ayan yung difference ng agonist at antagonist. Then, another natin for the pharmacodynamics is the drug target site. We have receptors, ion channels, enzyme, carrier. So, si receptors are protein on the surface of or within cells that bind to specific signal molecules. Ang mga specific signal molecules natin is, meron tayong neurotransmitter, and we also have hormones. Kasi yung drug interaction with the receptor, it can either mimic or block the effect. Kaya meron tayong agonist or antagonist. Then, two of the signaling molecules. So, yung endogenous signaling molecules, para siyang mga substance naturally within the body para magkaroon po ng connection. Then, pag ion channels naman, protein din sila. Protein that are that regulate the flow of ions across cell membranes. So, drug can interact with ions channel, modulate the flow of ions, affecting cellular acceptability and function. Then, enzymes. So, si enzyme, proteins din siya that catalyze biological or biochemical reaction in the body. So, drug can act as enzyme inhibitors or activators, influencing the rate of specific metabolic process. And then lastly, the carriers or transport. From the word itself, it facilitates the movement of substance across cell membrane. Kasi drugs can interact with this transporter. So, understanding the specific target of mechanism of action is very crucial, lalo na pag nagpe-predict ng effect ng gamot and ina-assess yung potential interaction ng ibang mga substance. Drug interaction can have significant implication for therapeutic efficiency and safety. Kung iisa-isahin kasi natin yan. So, ito si receptors, si ion channel, si nuclear receptor, si enzyme. May separate pala akong discussion. So, again, dito kay macromolecules, si receptor is or binding site located on the surface or inside the effector cell serves to recognize the signal drug, initiate the response to it, but itself has no other function. Again, they are attached to proteins. So, receptor are parang nagse-send sila ng elements in the system. And then, nagkakaroon sila ng parang chemical communication para ma-coordinate yung function niya doon sa iba't ibang cells in the body. So, many therapeutic useful drugs act either agonist or antagonist on the receptor. Ayan, si receptor, sabi ko kanina, is meron tayong hormones, neurotransmitter, and other medication. Kasi si receptor, it's either pag nag-bind siya, an agonist or antagonist. Many drugs kasi interact with the specific protein, which is the receptor. So, receptor located in a surface mga cells, and then designed to bind in a certain signaling molecules, katulad ng hormones and neurotransmitter. Si neurotransmitter, this is a chemical messenger. Messenger that transmits signals across synapses or mga gaps in the nervous system. Example niyan is dopamine, serotonin, yun yung mga example niyan kasi neurotransmitter. On the other hand, hormones. So, signaling naman to signaling molecules that are released into the bloodstream by endocrine gland. Kasi nagta-travel yan to target cells or organ para ma-regulate yung various function. Example niya naman is insulin or estrogen. Then, here, meron tayong agonist, antagonist, which as I already discussed earlier, agonist drug, which is initiate pharmacological action after binding with the receptor, it activates, so meron siyang response. Si antagonist naman is an agent na nagbablock. So, wala siyang reaction dapat. Then, ion channel. Si ion channel, drugs can affect into ion channel function by interacting either receptor site or ligated channels or with other parts of the channel molecule. So, ang ano natin dito, si ion channel are proteins that control the flow of ions in and out of the cell. Kasi ini-influensahan niya, influencing cell excitability. Then, dito, tina-try po i-modify ni ion channel or drug can modify ion channel activity, nakaka-affect siya doon sa signal. So, this is very important in nerve cell and muscle cell. To, specific tayo. So, yung drugs, merong specific receptor, ligand-gated ion, since nga inaano nila yung in and out of the ion, ng ion, G-protein coupled receptor, and then direct binding to ion channel, or it can modulating the opening and closing of the channel. Ito siya. Drugs are effect in ion function by interacting with the receptor. So, it's either open, pag may modulator, magbablock. Si modulator kasi may chance siyang mag-decrease or mag-increase ng probability ng makapag-open. Then, si block, permeation. So, yan yun. Kasi parang si ion channels, parang siyang gate. Kino-close open na. Kasi drugs can either open or close or modify the gates to influence yung flow ng charged particle. So, this modulation kasi of the ion channel can have a therapeutic effect. So, reducing parang sample, reducing pain or mga pag-treat ng any type of medical condition. Then, we have here. Wait lang guys. Wait lang, break muna for 5 minutes. Okay guys, back to it. So we have here our the ion channels. We have the phytolite, which is a black or used to correct irregular heartbeat of patient with atrial fibrillation or yung mga nagfa-flutter ng natural heart rhythm. Then we have amiodarone is the medication used to treat types of serious mga irregular heartbeat na present or persistent like tachycardia. Then we have nifedipine this is used to treat high blood pressure and control angina. Angina po is chest pain. Then we have nacorandil. It is a medication also that treat and reduce chest pain caused by angina. Then we have sulfonylureas. It's a group of medicine that used to treat type 2 diabetes. And then we have amiloride. It is a type of diuretic or water pill that helps prevent body from losing too much potassium. Then we have phenytoin. It is used to control seizures. Ang ano naman yan is including yung mga grand mal or mga temporal lobe seizure na kayang mag-treat ng epilepsy. Then, lastly, etosuzumide, also used to control absence seizures in patients with epilepsy. So, yan po yung mga ion channels po natin. Then we have enzyme. It is the important target all biological reaction under enzyme action. Ang enzyme natin ay catalyze, what I said earlier, catalyze biological reaction sa body. Either kaya niya mag-enhance or agonist or inhibiting or block antagonist. Ang ano natin dyan, ang drugs ng may enzyme is most likely substrate or inhibitors. Molecule kasi sa substrate analog that acts as competitive inhibitors of the enzyme or sometimes it is reversible. Meron tayong enzyme inhibitors, false prodrug. Kasi drug may also act as a substrate where the drug molecules undergo chemical transformation to an abnormal product that subverts the normal metabolic pathway. Kasi yung action ng drug action on enzyme, kaya niya inhibilation, which is parang kaya niyang inhibition is dito para siyang stop sign, which is stop sign for enzyme. In-stop niya. Enzymes. So they fit into the enzyme active, then preventing the normal molecule to get in. And then activation, on the other hand, is the drug are para siyang cheerleaders. Kasi they make the enzyme work even faster. So why it matters? Kasi tweaking the enzyme activity, drugs can control the various process in the body. Ito siya. So non-specific, specific, denaturing proteins, altering tertiary structures, heavy metal salt, strong acid, phenol, alkalis, too damaging for the systemic use, specific competitive equilibrium, non-competitive, it can be reversible or irreversible. So here are the possible ng natin sa drugs. Sa cholinesterase enzyme, ang function niyan is to break down the neurotransmitter. Then si bacterial naman is function nito is involved into synthesis of DNA. Then monoamine oxidase, function naman siya is catalyze the oxidation of the catecholamines. And then we have angiotensin converting enzyme, kino-converts niya yung angiotensin 1 to 2 para mag-regulates ng blood pressure and electrolyte balance. And then C5-alpha reductase is convert into testosterone. Then si aromatase naman is converts androgens into estrogens. Para siyang playing synthesis for the female sex hormones. Then si xanthine oxidase is conversion of xanthines uric acid naman. Then si DOPA para sa neurotransmitter. Then si alcohol natin is for the conversion of alcohol corresponding to the ketones, playing a role para sa alcohol metabolism. Napaka-crucial ng various physiological process ng enzyme. Sorry guys, alam ko nakaka-boring to. Anyway, itong carrier molecules transportation, substrate translocated across membrane by binding to specific transporters. The transportation, since transporter siya, itinatransport niya yung ions and mga small organic molecules papunta ng cell membrane or across the cell membrane para because yung permitting molecules. Ayan siya. The amine transporter is parang ito, solid siya. Dito pala. Solid yung normal transporter natin, well-defined structure, carrier. Then ito, pag inhibitor, it's either nabablock na siya in the middle and then false, may abnormal na flow. Then another mechanism of drug action, it is can be chemical reactive agent, physical active agent, counterfeit biological constituent, protoplasmic poison, formation of antibodies, placebo action, targeting specific genetic changes. So, pag chemical reactive agents interact with molecules, ions, or attack proteins macromolecule, meron siyang lack of specificity, which is encapsulating agent, not affected by minor structural variation, which is more on since chemical siya. Malalaman nyo yung covalent binding or yung gaano ka-strong yung attachment ng ions. So here are some chemical agent or reactive agent na makikita sa katawan natin. Meron tayong neutralization, which is papasok dyan yung sa gastric antacid and metallic ion chelator plus inorganic substance. Then meron pang anticoagulant. Dito siya. Ito, Na, yan. Then yung sa ano natin, para mag-prevent ng thrombin action. Hindi ko na masyadong i-explain or ano to kasi good to know lang naman tong chemical active dito. Tong may mga chemical compound natin. Then we have yung physical active agent. Usually yung smell. Or sorry, yung ano natin, yung color. Sa color, physiological effect, dapat pleasant color. Then, physical mass, usually this is water absorption and nag-i-increase ng size, peristalsis or movement, or yung laxative, which is yung nakaka-diarrhea or nakaka-poops. Then, we have yung smell, volatile oils, parang siyang peppermint oil, mask the unpleasant smell of mixture, and then taste, compound bitterness, increase. Then, we have HCI flow, improve appetite. Then osmolality, diuretic, mannitol, purgative, magnesium sulfate. Absorption, we have choline, activate charcoal, antidiarrheal. Then yung agent niya pa ulit is we have methylpolysylocene and semiticone, which it is a anti-flatulent. Then soothing demulcent, it is coat inflamed mucous membrane, soothing effect. Pectin, antidiarrheal preparation, then menthol syrup, basaka. Pharyngeal demulcent in vogue, and then calamine lotion, eczema. So, we have yung mga counterfeit or parang false, hindi totoong incorporation ng mechanism. Kasi yung mga artificial analog of natural substrate, walang effect doon sa enzyme, incorporated into a specific macromolecule. Yung cell niya is kaya mag-alter ng mismong activity or response, susceptibility to destruct. And then we have bromouracil. So, kaya niya mag-increase ng mutation rate. And chromosomal disturbance is anti-neoplastic. Then, we have protoplasmic poison. Ito ay germicide and antiseptic. So, dito is meron tayong example ng parang yung HCHO is formalin or formalin. Para lang i-ano natin, formaldehyde. It is a colorless and then strong smelling water-soluble gas. So, this is a chemical formulation. Para siyang, sabihin na lang natin in short, sa lahat ng sinabi ko, formalin po yan. strong yung smell. So, formation of antibodies. Yan. Formation ng antibodies, kailangan natin ng vaccine, which is induce antibody formation and stimulate defense mechanism. And then, it active immunity against smallpox and cholera, passive immunity, anti-sera against tetanus and diphtheria. And then we have another mechanism of action is placebo effect. This is a pharmacodynamically inert or harmless dosage form resembling actual medication. Then the physician sinasabi good patient confidence, dramatic relief ng subjective symptoms is physiological. Kasi si placebo effect is fascinating siya. Fascinating phenomenon. Where a person experience a perceived improvement in their symptoms or condition after receiving a treatment. Meron dyang expectation. So, this is the explanation of how the placebo effect works. Expectation, mind-body connections, release of endorphin, and then subjective improvement, physiological factors, and then temporary and variable. Sa expectation, ang may placebo effect kasi when someone believes they are receiving the treatment, yung mind nila nagke-create na nag-e-expect sila na parang magaling na sila. Then connected siya sa mind-body connection. The brain has a powerful influence on the body kasi. They believing that yung effectiveness of treatment can trigger the physiological or psychological response. Pero in reality, hindi naman totoo na gumagaling sila. Then release of endorphins kasi expectation of relief improvement can stimulate the brain to release endorphins, the body natural painkillers. That is the endorphins. Then subject improvement kasi positive mindset sila. Pag positive mindset sila, nagre-release ng endorphins, yung person na yon is nakaka-feel na better sila or experience na mabawasan yung symptoms nila. And then physiological factors, the placebo effect is influencing by belief, trust in treatment. Then temporary and variable, the placebo effect is usually temporary lang po. And it may vary person to person. Wala kasing direct or it is not pure physiological. So, in summary, placebo effect demonstrates significant impact of the physiological, pwede ding emotional factors on how yung people or yung individual perceive and experience relief from symptoms. Yung mind nila, positive mind. So, nag-expect, naniniwala silang na gagaling sila, nagko-contribute to real and often that is only temporary. Nag-improve lang ng well-being pero hindi po siya cure. So, ganun yung sa placebo effect. Then, next we have targeting specific genetic changes. So, dito, delivering genes to cancer cell more sensitive to drugs. Delivering genes to healthy cell protect chemotherapy. Tag cancer cell with genes that make them immunogenic. Example po niya, in 5 days, kailangan makareceive ni cancer patient ng treatment. So, automatically, kunyari, Monday to Friday yan. Saturday and Sunday, 2 days, dapat po, wala na pong treatment ng cancer, ng chemo, or kung ano mang radioactive procedure yan. Kasi, this initially 2 days, it helps para makarecover siya kung dinadamage na yung cell within this 5 days. Kasi kung dire-diretso pong na-damage yung cell, mas sensitive na nga, may chance pa po mag-lead to cell death. That's why genes delivering to healthy cell para po maprotektahan during the chemotherapy. That's the only time for the cell to recover. Parang mag-heal muna, saka lang lalaban ulit. Parang ganon. Then we have indication and contraindication of drugs. Specific medical condition, that is the indication for which a drug is approved and recommended. Kunyari, may sakit ka, nararamdaman mo, masakit ang ulo, nilalagnat, that is the indication kung paracetamol yung iinumin mo. Contraindication, condition, characteristic, or situation where the use of drug is not advised or magiging instead na makakatulong, nakaka-harm pa. Kasi si indication, this is determined through clinical trials and scientific evidence. Si contraindication, it may cause allergy, pwedeng pregnancy, or pre-existing medication condition. Kaya kontra siya. Hindi po siya pwedeng ipainom pag kumokontra po yung gamot na yon sa nararamdaman ni patient. Then, meron tayong mga special considerations. Medical history. Sa medical history, health understanding existing condition. This is knowing the patient's medical history, nakakatulong para malaman natin yung existing condition might affect on how the drug works. Example po niyan is sa atin. Pag nagbibigay po tayo ng contrast media sa CT scan, MRI, or mga contrast study, hindi po natin, or that's the preparation na pag diabetic si patient at nagtitake ng any medication for diabetic like metformin, pinapastop po yun. So, hindi siya pwede. Kasi nga, it may cause na it's either hindi mag-e-effect yung gamot. Kaya kailangan natin malaman yung medical history ni patient. Then, awareness din siya. Para alam natin kung may previous surgery ba si patient, etc. Then, allergies. Crucial to avoid giving drugs that could cause harmful reaction. Ito naman is awareness. Awareness of the allergy to that individual. Kasi hindi natin sila pwedeng bigyan-bigyan. Kunyari, alam na nating allergic sa paracetamol, bibigyan pa ba natin ng paracetamol? Syempre, hindi na. Hahanap tayo ng alternative which is makaka-cure pa rin doon sa symptoms ni patient pero hindi na sa family ni paracetamol. Then, age difference may need different doses. Kasi si age, how the body drugs and different age. Kasi pag pedya po, yung contrast media natin contrast media, kailangan po magdedepende po yan sa weight ni patient equals kg. Equals dose. Magdedepende po tayo sa weight ni patient kung ilang dose yung ibibigay natin. Then, sa sex, can affect how drugs work in the body. Kasi, example po niyan, hindi kasi advisable, di ba, yung pills. Iniinom siya ng mga gustong maging babae. which is that the pills hindi naman po talaga intended for them. Intended po siya sa mga pasyenteng may PCOS, birth control, pero yung birth control na yon is nagagamit sa ibang paraan. Then other medication, which is the takes help avoid potential interaction. Kasi dito, yung considering person's medication, taking avoidance para alam na natin kung hindi yun yung makaka-trigger sa patient, allergies, etc. So, yun yung mga ano natin, mga special conditions natin for drugs. Ayan. That's it. Yun, medyo na-bored lang in the part ng dito. Medyo nakaka-bored. Anyway, do you have any questions? Kailangan kong uliting explanation na hindi nyo maintindihan? Meron po ba, guys? Anyone? Do you have any question? Naintindihan ba kahit papano yung lectures? Naintindihan ba? Yan, naintindihan naman. Sana. Charis. Anyway, next week po, I'm going to give you the quiz. So, ang quiz po, it's about the last topic. And then, last week topic, tsaka ito. Okay, just let me know ulit what time para ma-adjust ko kung gusto nyo ba before or after discussion. So, ayun. Thank you guys for listening. Take the rest of the day off and kain na kayo, and anything that you can do, you may go now. Thank you guys.